Hi everybody, Steve Griffiths here, developer of the MTPredictor software program. In this video I'd like to continue with what I was talking about in yesterday's training webinar for MTPredictor customers, when I was talking about how we should not forget looking at the 5-minute charts when we trade in the USE minis. If you remember, we normally look at the 15-minute charts for our large degree trend direction, and I'll come on to that in a moment, but when we're actually trading we can look at the 5-minute charts as well as the 3-minute charts. And to demonstrate this, I looked at a 5-minute chart of the ES, where the day before we had a lovely TS3 sell setup here that got you into this decline down there. But the setup we were actually looking at yesterday was, if I scroll out a bit, was this setup here. In fact, we had two setups here. We had one as denoted by this history triangle, and if I analyze this, you can see this was just clipped in for a short trade and then just stopped out for a -1 loss. Remember, we use position sizing to keep our risk small and under control, but as with any kind of trading, losses will and can happen. But the trick is keeping the losses small. And that's what this did. The position sizing allowed this to be kept small at just what we call -1R, or 1 risk unit. Just clear that off. Then we had another attempt here. If I right mouse click and do analyze setup, you can see this took us in for another short trade. It was a very bumpy ride as the market went sideways here before the Fed did an announcement here. Market then came down beautifully and actually came to our projected target, where the profit was 3.2R. The projected target was actually the low of the day, so that's a very nice place to be taking profits. And in fact, if I put the vertical session line breaks on there, you can see that this single trade here would have had you short from pretty much the high of the day, which was here, down to take profits at pretty much the low of the day. So looking back on this, this was a lovely trade. But the point being is that this profit here was plus 3.2R, or 3.2 times the initial risk. Do you remember when I said this first trade was -1R? So here you are -1 plus 3.2 equals a plus 2.2 profit for the day on these particular charts. So that was a very good result. But also I was looking at the longer term 15-minute chart, and I was asked a question at the time about how to follow this as the day unfolds. And here's my decision point that I put on the chart at the time yesterday, and was saying this was an area where I was looking for the market to go down into. If I put the session breaks on, you can see this is where our 5-minute TS3 sell was. So I was looking for the market to carry on down into this level here. And remember, this was put on the chart before the market got there. So this was put on the chart at this level here. So we're anticipating this to be a potential support zone. And that's why it's important, as I said in yesterday's webinar, that you must put these on the chart as new swings are made. And as you can see, the market came down to here, and this actually nailed the low of the day very, very nicely indeed. So it was great that we had that level on the charts before the market even got there to help anticipate this support zone. And can you see how that low there tied in beautifully with our profit target here? So both of them were at support. If I clear that off, you can see if I put the DP on from this level here, that actually caught the low of the day as well. Again, these levels are on the chart in advance, so that could have been placed on the chart before the market even got there. And as you can see, the market came down, tagged it, and rallied up nicely. So that's one thing that I wanted to talk about today, is that don't forget the 5-minute charts when you're trading the USE minis, but always make sure that you're looking in the direction of the larger degree trend. And as you can see yesterday, that meant we had a very nice short trade there, which, as you've already seen, would have come down there to take profit at the low of the day. So a good day for the 5-minute ES yesterday. There were some setups on some other charts. For example, if I look at the Russell Index, we had this is on a 3-minute chart. We had a setup here a bit earlier in the day, which would have resulted in a -1R loss. Again, remember, we can't avoid losing trades as professional traders. The trick is keeping the trades or the losses small when they come through. We wouldn't have been looking at these DP buys. In fact, if I put the session templates on, that was actually the day before. So here we would have had a -1R loss, come up for another trade there, which actually was the high of the day. Market came down to its first target, for in this case a plus 4.5R profit. Was it as good as that all the time? Well, no, it wasn't, and it's always good to show some losing trades, and this is what I want to look at now on the YM. STF is red, so the trend's down. So for standard traders, you would have had a minus 1R loss of this bar here. We have then gone into this TS3 sell here, which would have come down to the first target for plus 3.5R. Now you'd have probably had some positive slippage here, so you might well have actually come out for a lot better, a lot more profitable trade than that. In fact, you might have actually held it on a little bit lower as well. You'd have ignored this TS4 buy because again it was against the blue STF. You'd have had a minus 1R there and possibly a minus 1R there, or it might have been a break-even trade because you're at the 100% initial risk. So for standard traders, let's take the worst case scenario. Again, very few vendors will do this, so it could have been minus 1, 2, 3, minus 3R for 3 losing trades, but just look how this one profitable trade here would have put you back into profit or just about break even for the day at plus 3.5R. And that's the power of position sizing. So even here, when you had 1, 2, 3 losing trades and only 1 profit, it meant making money overall. Now in reality, as I said, you would have probably got some positive slippage as the market went through this, so you'd have probably had a slightly higher profit here. And also as the market was rallying up here later in the day, we've already seen that the ES made its 15-minute DP low, so the large degree trend had turned up here. So advanced MTPredictor traders may not have even taken these trade setups here. But I just wanted to show a worst case scenario for you and actually show a day where there were some losing trades, because it's important to show that any system does have losing trades, but as I've said, the trick is keeping the losing trades small. So to summarize, again following up from what I was saying in yesterday's MTPredictor customer training webinar, keep an eye on the 15-minute charts, and that's why where's the ES 15-minute, and that's why I said put that DP out there in advance to actually cut the low there yesterday. And also keep an eye on the 5-minute charts as well. And this was the chart, the trade we were talking about yesterday. As you see, it was a very nice trade from the high of the day into the low of the day for plus 3.2R. A good day on that particular trade there.